Hey, this is me building a $3 million a year business in public. The way these videos always go is I start with just some Q&A to give you guys some value right off the bat. And then also it's an engagement hack that grows this channel. Then I talk about my growth on Instagram, YouTube, and my products. Then to wrap it up, I do one improvement. So the improvement is usually live strategy. This is my main channel over here, 128,000 subs, just under. This is my daily updates channel. I just scroll all the way down to the bottom and answer the last question. Last one today is from Gustav, who says, "Hey Nick, love your daily updates as usual. I have a quick question. I'm building a system for property managers to set everything up, including the cold email campaign. Could you please take a look at my cold email copy? I sent it to your email." Okay, yeah, sure. So Gustav, let me take a peek here. I got a couple emails, so bear with me. Also, my internet is trash, so bear with me. Gustav, maybe it's this. We will play the Jeopardy music. Playing some Jeopardy music. I can just feel the engagement just slowly seeping away as my internet loads this. Congrats on the move. Thank you, Narf. Much appreciated. Hey, will I need an open API key to do outreach and cold email Upwork? Yes, you will. Hi, handsome. Hello, handsome. Much appreciated. David's like, WTF. Dude, can you not call other men handsome? Platonically? Very much appreciated, Samin. Okay, great. How's my internet looking? Gustav, maybe we can pump a search in now. Okay, well, you didn't appear on this email. I'm going to record daily update 124. This is taking its sweet ass time as well. I'm not seeing anything here, man. I might not be on. Maybe I have another email that I could look at really briefly. Jeez. While we're doing this, what else we got? Stand up and charge your laptop more often. Just kidding. Unless, quick question, I want to do cold email linked to outreach or B2B consultants where I handle everything up to the meeting. How would you price this? So I'm going to set up you 2,500 to 5K and then like 200, 400 per meeting or 50 to 20-ish revenue share. But are these prices too high? I definitely go per meeting. I don't think it's too high. It depends on what the average lifetime value is and one of the deals that these B2B consultants are closing. And yeah, you're definitely going to get pushback, dude. Like, you're not going to be able to sell any sort of system without some sort of pushback. So just avail yourself of the notion that you can sell systems without pushback. Pushback is normal. There's going to be some sort of back and forth. I don't want to rely on them closing. It's so much less friction on rev share for the client, for sure. But this is the way to go, man. You got to do things that are entirely in your control. Okay, cool. This makes sense to me. Nothing else that you should know. The setup fee of 2,500 to 5,000, I think is like pretty reasonable, depending on the value that you're willing to drive, of course. But like a B2B consultant, I don't know, a consultant package might be like, let's see, they might charge like $15,000 a year for it or something, maybe some sort of lock-in thing. It depends on what you're doing. I'm not talking like big consulting firms. I'm talking just like some freelance consultant or something. So if you can get them one of these deals, basically like the value that they're willing to give you is somewhere around $5,000 for it. I think you could probably get a deal a month for these clients, right? And you're going to charge $5,000 for the one-time average order value, $200 per meeting. It all just boils down to what their conversion rate is on the meeting. But let's say that they convert one in every, I don't know, like let's say 8 meetings that you provide. So they get a pretty low low conversion rate. If you think about it, like 1/8 times, let's say $200 is still only a $1,600 per deal cost to you after. So, you know, unless the numbers are really screwy, I mean, you could probably charge 400, change that to 3.2K, and it would still be kind of underpriced. So yeah, this is how I do things. If you don't know what I mean by this, just check out value-based pricing. I got a great video over here that talks all about it. So definitely give that a look. And now I feel like we could actually run that Gustav search. No, we still can't. I don't know what the email is, my man. Sorry, my brother. Would you mind just sending me another email here and then just being like hyper specific about, I don't know, like just mention your name in the title or something? Because just for time purposes, I receive so many emails on a daily basis and I want to be able to answer yours. I just, yeah, I'm not entirely sure about the system for property managers here. Okay, Chris Cotton says, your content's invaluable. I appreciate it. The internet download and upload speeds are different. I have the 2 gigabyte plan located very close to the server. That's how much download, that's how much upload, that's the latency. Your video upload would be faster, but not like that 1,800 number. Wow, on a Threadripper. Cool. Threadripper. That sounds so cyberpunk. Saraev says, first of all, huge respect for the value you're sharing. Incredible and inspiring for someone like me starting out. I'm working on building my own AI automation agency like you. I'm a bit stuck and confused. I understand the basics like making lead gen systems or client onboarding automations, but beyond that, I'm struggling to figure out what other kinds of high-paying systems and automations I could build to offer to clients. So could you help me understand how do you come up with systems that businesses would actually pay for? What are some AI-based systems that are currently in demand and can bring in real income? How can I start thinking like a problem solver, someone who can observe a company and come up with useful automation by myself? Basically, how do I train my mind to spot and build these opportunities? If you could break your process for how you think, identify problems, and craft automated solutions like you do for clients, that'd be insanely helpful. Thanks again for the value you put out to help more people like me than you can probably even realize. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. The thing about this though is, I mean, lead gen systems and client onboarding systems, believe it or not, this is probably like 70% of all the revenue that I've ever made. So you know more than enough right now. The vast majority of businesses struggle from lead generation issues, B2B businesses, and then client onboarding as well. So these two packaged together quite nicely can make you a ton of money. What's between lead gen and client onboarding? Obviously the sales. So like the proposal generator is a system that I've sold a ton of. And then now you have something where you generate the lead, then you help them close the lead, and then you also help them onboard the lead. So then what's the next step? Well, then you have something that helps them fulfill the lead. So some sort of system that templates out their work. And then at the very, very end, then you have something that helps them retain the lead, some sort of follow-up system. These are the systems that, actually make money, not some fancy AI agent thing. AI agents are changing now. They're getting to the point where, they're actually pretty okay. They're fancy text classifiers for Christ's sake, but there are a lot of areas you might want to use them. So just hedging my bets there. But yeah, man, like that's basically it. So you want to talk how I actually go through this process? All I do is I look at the flow of an average business. I look at the pipeline of an average business, and I just ask myself, like, where is the bottleneck in that business? If I go theory of constraints, then I check out like a pipeline. This is a book that I always recommend. It's called, The Goal by Eli Goldratt. Unfortunately, when you load a million Google images, internet is obviously an issue, but hopefully you could see how this works. Oops, here we go. The idea is all businesses are just pipelines, and you can represent pipelines with bottlenecks. So this is a lead that comes into the system, right? This is, I don't know, like new customer. Well, not new customer, sorry, but let's just say like lead. So what now? Let's just say this is your business, okay? There's some money coming in. And then the idea is that there'd be more money coming out. Your business would do some sort of value add, and then it would multiply whatever the thing is. That's the arbitrage, the differential. So, at the very beginning of this, maybe this is your lead gen. Then here, maybe it's your sales. Then here, maybe it's your client onboarding process. Here, it's your fulfillment. And then here is your ability to retain clients. And this is the pipeline. Over and over and over again, clients just like go through this. So what does that mean? If you are at this stage here, okay, and the width of your pipeline is this big, and you try and increase lead gen more, you're not actually going to make any more money because the bottleneck to the pipeline is your client onboarding. Okay, so the only way that you can make more money in your business is just by alleviating the bottleneck. And so if you can somehow get that bigger, then you could start worrying about increasing things. But yeah, you just wanted like a mindset, methodology, series of systems, step by step. Check out The Theory of Constraints by Eli Goldratt. Awesome book. And yeah, in terms of like the specific automation systems, you just go through that. You identify bottlenecks. And in practice, bottlenecks are almost always lead gen focused. They're not like the pipeline I showed you a moment ago isn't actually representative. It's rarely client onboarding. It's almost always just like the top of funnel. And then what you do is you just like for every bottleneck, you ask, okay, like what are they doing right now? And how can we just do that faster? How can we just do that better? So it's not necessarily like a specific system thing, although the specific systems I talk about certainly do help. But yeah, it's more so just like understand I'm just going to remove your other one here. Just understand the bottlenecks, I would say. Judd says, great idea repurposing your N8N videos. Thank you very much, man. I'm looking forward to that. Cameron says, thanks so much for the free value put out there. I'm about to set up a cold email system for my agency. I want to make sure I set it up right. You mentioned using Instantly for a cold email, but I pay for GHL, prefer to have everything in one place. Would you recommend that I do and why? Thanks so much in advance. You are conflating Go High Level and Instantly, but these are very different platforms. It's like comparing apples to oranges. Go High Level is all about inbound funnel. So that gets you stuff in. Instantly is all about outbound. So that's where you reach out to people. Go High Level works when people opt in, but Instantly works for when people aren't opted in. And if you're reaching out to people totally cold, you're in the latter camp, and that's what you need. So whether you use Instantly, whether you use some other platform like SmartLead or the other cold email system tools that are popping up, just make sure you use a cold outbound tool, not an inbound tool like GHL, okay? So yeah, apples to oranges, I wouldn't compare them. You need some sort of outbound tool if you want to do this stuff scalably. Milan says, hey, Nick, respect for the effort you put in every video. I have a question. Could you explain to me the automatic invoice collection from your Gumroad? Because I don't exactly know how to sell that automation. How do I offer that to clients to find that it fits them? I want to start an agency, but it's the automation that I think I could sell to my first client. If you have any other recommendations similar to this one, feel free to say thanks a lot. And hell yeah, brother. I don't actually know. I am not really sure what that looks like. I am trying to be very sparing with how I hit the... Ooh, wow. I don't actually know. Which one is it? Is this one? It's probably this one. You're probably referring to this one, I take it. I'm not entirely sure. I think you are. Crossing my fingers here. But the idea is we have a Google Sheet. The Google Sheet is a big list of, invoices that you've sent out. And then all we do is we just, get the invoice date, calculate, how many days it's been between the invoice date and today. And then if it's been 7 days, we send follow-up A. If it's been 14 days, we send follow-up B. If it's 21 days, we send follow-up C. 28 days, 35 days, 42 days. Now, the reason why this is probably confusing to some people is because I'm just using this Google Sheet as the intake. So I might actually be able to find it. And Google Sheets load pretty quick usually because it's just tabular data. There we go. So the reason why this is complicated to some people is because they say, well, I don't have a Google Sheet like this. So where the hell are you getting the data from? And the reality is I just made this up. The data is wherever the hell you want it to be. You can build some sort of CRM for yourself that tracks outgoing and incoming payments like super easily. As you see, it's literally just like a bunch of headers, which I just had ChatGPT generate, and then a couple of some data here. These are all example emails, but yeah, you just need some sort of due date data. And then all you need to do is just like you figure out, hey, since I sent the invoice, since it was due, how many days has it been? So what you do is you take the date, so 2024-09-30, and you just get the distance between today, which is June the 8th, and then when the invoice was, the due or whatever. Do you kind of see my point? Don't pay attention to the actual values here. I've just like mucked around with them for demo purposes and stuff. But yeah, you basically just get the distance. And then you just say, hey, if it's 7 days, I'm going to send this email follow-up. What is email follow-up? Hey, hope you're doing well. Just wanted to check in on the invoice I sent over last week. Let me know if you have any other questions. Thank you. Or, hey, any update on the invoice from 2 weeks ago? Sorry, I just want to make sure I close this out. 3, checking in on my invoice from a couple weeks ago. All good? Hey, I know I followed up about this a few times now. Just wondering about that invoice I sent. Let me know if there's anything you need on it. Hey, hopes all is good. Just following up with the invoice from last month. I know this is repetitive, but it's been a little over a month and I'm still waiting on that invoice. Is there anything I can do to expedite this or make your life easier? Okay. So little nudges like this, that seems silly, but they actually add a ton of value. A lot of companies, especially like digital agencies, have a big chunk of all of their money tied up in accounts receivable, aka unpaid invoices. So the value of the system is it just helps you collect on accounts receivable. It helps you automate the follow-ups of invoices in a manual way. So how would you solve this? Exactly that. You would ask them, so how quickly do your invoices get paid? Do all of your invoices get paid? Do you ever in a situation where like some of those invoices don't get paid? Do you find yourself like scrambling, spending a lot of time following up with unpaid invoices, stuff like that? Well, I have the system for you. This completely and autonomously manages that. Now, this is one half of a system that you could build that's even better. What you do is, instead of getting the data from a Google Sheet, you get it from like, let's say Stripe or something, or QuickBooks or Xero or whatever you're using to send out the invoices. You do the exact same thing I just showed you here with Google Sheets. It's just now you get the data from Stripe or those other sources. You grab the date and then you send out the drafts. And then you have a second automation that just monitors for an incoming payment on Stripe or whatever. And when it comes in, it just like goes to your data and it says invoice paid. And most of the time this is automatically managed by the platform, but like then, the status will be paid. And then, these entries don't actually go into the automation because, they're paid and we're filtering out only things that are unpaid. Okay, so that's how you do it in a nutshell. That's kind of like the value there. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Okay, great. How do you charge clients? Usually sounds like an upfront deposit and then a remainder. Yeah, upfront first, then get the delivery payment. So upfront deposit, then delivery payment, and then try and get them on a retainer after. This is the 80-20. This is called like your intro offer plus recurring service idea. And the idea is it's very difficult to sell a recurring service cold to a client, but at the same time, this is where all of your money comes in, right? Let's say you charge $5,000 a month, and this is like on average 4-month retainer. Well, that's like $20,000, right? Intro offers you might sell for like $2,000 or whatever. But because because this is so much more of an involved thing, and maybe you get them on a quarter or something like that or whatever, it's really hard to sell. So what you do instead is you sell them a simple, repeatable super dialed in productized thing, like an intro offer, just to get that stuff out and over and done with. And then once they verify the quality of your work and they see that you've delivered an ROI, then you do the recurring service. And then you just chunk that down in half to make that even easier. So it's normally 2K. Well, now it's like, I don't know, 998, 998. This is a lot more palatable than $2,000. You have some upfront fee, then you offer delivery, you get that payment. And then immediately after you say, hey, while I was doing X, Y, and Z, I noticed a bunch of other things. Like I want to fix all of them for you on our monthly retainer. All right, so I'll leave it there. Just in terms of brand stats, where I'm at with the growth, we've had unfortunately another rough day, which sucks, and I need to fix this ASAP. The unfortunate thing is I have these things that are supposedly outside of my control. They're not really outside of my control, and I'm just like making excuses for them, but I still don't have internet, as you guys could tell, and that is honestly really, really killing me. It's so much freaking longer to do anything I need, and I can't build my live systems because I just have to jump around and actually like access the internet and stuff on them. It just takes me forever, as you guys could see. And, sometimes the internet just like craps out. So that's really, really rough. As a result of me not posting consistently for a few days, and as a result of there being an issue where we didn't actually have a system that we thought we had, I didn't post yesterday, Maker School signups have gone down again. So now we're at 2,508 paid members, and we are now underneath 300K. And the churn is almost 20%. For context, about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, the churn was a 17%. What that means is, if you do the math, 3% of a 300K product is $9,000. I'm sorry, $9,000. Okay, hold on, my math ain't so good. Let's do it this way. To calculate the lifetime value of your thing, what you do is you take your MRR and then you divide that by your churn. So that's 1.5 million, right? Now, if I do, if I contrast this with the lifetime value of my old churn, which was divided by 0.17, the amount of money I've lost over the last 6 weeks is $250,000. I've lost $250,000 over the last 6 weeks by increasing my churn to almost 20%. That's the way that math works out. That frickin' blows. That's terrible. I don't like that. I don't want to lose that much money. So the thing is, it's obviously the daily posting, the lack of daily posting that has led to this. And yeah, I don't really have a solution aside from just doing what I know I need to do. The unfortunate thing is I just can't really post right now because of this damn internet. So I wrote a little bit of a blog post here. If you want to look into it, it's about the error that I made not getting internet for my new home, which sucks. Strategically speaking, to make a long story short, cost of moving was higher than I expected. It's not direct monetary cost. It's time and convenience cost, which has become money at the end of the day. Because I haven't had internet in 13 days, I missed a daily update. I missed 2 YouTube videos. I missed a podcast. I nearly missed a Maker School response day. I also skipped multiple client engagements. People have been trying to reach me for a while. Multiple systems have gone down that I'm unable to promptly fix. I also have been following up or checking in with my team on progress, which has led to reduced productivity on their end. And I've been much slower because pages load at like an eighth the speed of my phone. Anyway, the direct MRR impact plus opportunity cost is probably 20,000 more. I evaluated that earlier before I looked at this. In terms of the churn now, as we saw, it's another $250,000 lifetime value that I just lost. So the question that I like to ask myself is, could I have fixed this looking back? Yes, I could have. I could have been smarter. I could have bought internet the day that I got here rather than a week or two later. Even if there ended up being problems and I had to use mobile data, I could have also gotten much better, faster mobile data in preparation. I'm way over my plan limit and they like throttle you after like 200 gigs or something. So major, major error. I really screwed up here. My whole life revolves around access to internet and I've been taking it for granted. So I cannot keep doing this. I cannot make mistakes like this again, especially given just how plugged in and online I am. I feel like, yeah, this is just one of those things where you look back and you're like, holy shit, did I screw up? That's a big, big problem. I don't want to dwell on it too long, obviously. I'm acknowledging it. But yeah, you guys should have seen the daily update upload time. It was like 6 hours yesterday. It took me 6 hours to upload. I'm just going to go to a coffee shop today. I'm just going to like go down there, upload my shit, and then be done with it. And yeah, isn't it weird how somebody, probably from the outside in, a lot of you guys are like, well, Nick, don't you make like $1 million bajillion? Can't you just like pay somebody to have it taken care of? It's like, it's actually pretty annoying to deal with this. Like, I don't know how to deal with this problem. Like, I could probably get on a call with Rogers and Rogers Shaw, because they've now bought Shaw. And I could say, I'll pay however much money I need. But like that's a ton of friction as well. Now I got to be on some support line for God knows how long. Like, as great as it would be to just be able to throw money at a problem, like, yeah, I can't. And the thing is, like, I can't just go to like an internet cafe because I do need to record my stuff, right? Like, I can't go to like a busy place. Could I jump into a WeWork or something like that? Like, yeah, for sure, but I'd be missing my equipment unless I go in there and then I set up the equipment, which would take me like an hour. And I got to do the filming, and also I just don't like filming in like relatively public places where people could hear me. I don't know. It's just something, I guess, the back of my mind that I have to get over, but. I just like being able to really just lock into what I'm talking about, not just doing it in front of a bunch of other people. It's inconvenient, and there's noises, and there's a bunch of other things. So it's like, okay, how much friction would actually be involved in that? Like, well, it'll probably be like another 3 hours anyway. So it's like, well, if I could just upload it on my phone in 3 hours, then it's in 6 hours, then the only difference is 3 hours. Then there's travel time to and back. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is I have thought about all of the different things that I could do to solve this, and I just have yet to find anything simple and straightforward where it's like, hey, send one message, pay somebody a bunch of money, even if it's an extraordinarily high amount of money from the outside in, it would still make me an ROI. Have them bring the box to my house and set it up immediately. Like I just don't know how to do that, and acquiring the knowledge would also take time. So this is me justifying my bullshit, but yeah, not being able to have internet for, I guess, almost 2 weeks now has just been terrible. It's been brutal. Do not recommend it on anybody, especially when your whole life revolves around having very fast access to internet. So the second that I do have fast access to internet again, I'm just gonna crush. It's gonna be unbelievable. I've just taken this for granted a little too much. Studio setup wise, yeah. So I have my little poster. I didn't put the poster up, but I did actually reorganize the whole studio. You guys can't see it, but basically I have like a bed now. So I don't know what it's gonna look like with the bed frame. Hopefully it's not gonna be too bad. Let me actually see on the camera. Yeah, I may not actually put that up. I'm not entirely sure. I don't really want a bed in the background shot. Alternatively, I guess I could just move the camera up and then I could like increase the height of my chair. Never mind, that's not that bad. But yeah, the studio stuff is good. I'm just unpacking a bunch of boxes today. Girlfriend and I are doing that, which is fun. We're gonna do that over the course of the next like 4 hours or so. Probably do most of it. Yeah, and then I think I just have to. I have these like emotional responses I found to the decreased member count in Maker School because it's the first time in several months that the member count has gone down and not up. We did have a period there like 4 months ago when it was going down as well. And that was one of the things that actually like made me get into the daily posting and be much more consistent. I do hate, again, just to reiterate yesterday's takeaway, that I have to feel like the pressure or strain of like not growing. And that is what motivates me more so than the upside. Like, on some level, as a human being, I'm just biased towards wanting to avoid pain and minimize risk more than I am enjoy the upside of success. And that has been annoying to deal with for sure. But I think just being frank here, I just have to accept that there's market lag, right? So even if I started publishing consistently again today and all the stars aligned, I wouldn't see any positive impact to Maker School probably for like another week. So I lost like 10 members today. Assuming that the rate of my member loss grows, which it will, let's say 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Let's do that. I'll probably lose another 100 members or so, meaning numbers will go down to 2.7K, 2.75K before like the momentum of, and that's assuming I get internet tomorrow, and who the fuck knows, because they've told me that it was going to be here like 4 days ago. So I guess just visualizing worst case scenario where member count like spirals down, it gets 100 lower. By the time that I actually like get the upside and start reaching parity again, that's actually really not that bad. That's 100 members, most of them who are probably at lower rates, like $90 or so. That's like 10K in MRR. So maybe that's like 290 grand. I guess that's not that terrible. Yeah, all things considered. And then, I have no doubt in my mind that with the consistency of daily posting and whatnot, I'll get back to it because, that's what made me win in the first place. And that's just my outsized, super crazy skill. All right. Anyway, just wanted to let you guys know what's going through my head, like transparently. These are the things that I'm thinking about. I'm also obviously a little too fixated on this number, but I think it's because I just hit a threshold of $300,000, which is just something like I don't know if anybody on school has done, to be honest. So maybe they have done 300K or more. I don't know. But like I hit this and like I was congratulated about it by Sam Evans and a bunch of the other people on the school team. I'm obviously like, big dog on top of the world guy right now. And yeah, again, the fear of losing seems to be much stronger than the excitement and anticipation of winning. And that just might be something that I have to come to terms with. I'll leave it there. Have a lovely rest of the day, everybody. Thank you.